He's Bubba Wallace, driver of the number 43 Chevrolet for Richard Petty Motorsports, who joins us on the program. Bubba, thanks for joining us. We'll get to the emotion here coming up in a moment, but can you take me back to Sunday night when you first hear from Steve Phelps of NASCAR, and then take us through what happened after that?
Yeah, good morning, Dan. It's good to see you. Good to talk to you. Sunday was started out very uneventful and unfortunate that we didn't get the race in, but tides quickly shifted and changed later that evening when I got a phone call from Steve Phelps that he wanted to meet in person and talk about something on a personal matter. And I had no idea what to expect. I thought I had said something wrong in the interviews that I've done throughout the couple weeks, but that wasn't the case. That was it was a very I don't know if it was one of the hardest conversations he's ever had to have. It sure seemed like it, but coming to me and saying that there was a hate crime committed, and that they were proceeding forward with the investigation, and the next thing you know, they said they were going to do everything in their power to find the guy and kick him out of the sport. And that next morning, I got a call from NASCAR security saying that the FBI was now involved, that it had went up all the way up to DC. And for me, I was obviously getting a lot of outreach after the statements were released, and a lot of positive support. So for me on Monday morning was just simply trying to clear my head and somehow stay away from the madness.
Let me stay on Sunday night, though, Bubba. So you get the phone call from the president, Steve Phelps. Did he tell you what he found?
Yeah, he said, "I want to meet you in person." So he walked over to my motorhome. He was a couple motorhomes away. And yes, he said that they had found a noose in my garage. And that my crew member had found it and reported it to them, and they took it into their hands to proceed on with the next steps.
But did you understand? So you were told it was a hate crime and it was a noose.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know if it was attached to anything or if it was on the floor? Did he describe anything about it?
Nope. He said that there was just a noose found in my garage. So later on that night, I had called a crew member who was African American on my team just to check in on him, and he actually ended up being the one that found it. And he played it off very well. Him and my crew chief played it off very well, rightfully so, to keep it away from me and not let it affect me. Although I had already found out, and so they were trying to protect me. And I asked them, I said, have we checked the other garages? This isn't something that was done in a matter of seconds. And both of them said in their hearts, they believe it was done overnight. And this isn't something that can be done in minutes. This took time. I don't even know how to tie a noose, but it was in fact a noose as a garage pool.
What I didn't understand I had a lot of questions in the moment, Bubba.
Yeah.
But I don't work in NASCAR, so I was trying to understand the proximity of everybody's cars. If the COVID-19, the number of people have had access to this, other garage door pulls. Mm-hmm. Are there any other ones that are like this? A slip knot that it constitutes a noose there, and I didn't know this.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I had actually talked to my crew member last night again, and he was kind of outraged at how things were, I guess, concluded. And he says 100% if he had seen it again, he would do it all over again and not hold back. And he says in our section of garages, there was about 10 stalls. He said before he even said anything to our crew chief to report it, he walked up and down the garages to see if this was the same thing. And he said that every other garage pool had no knot, just a single piece of rope, no knots involved. And the picture I got from what they had eventually cut down and turned it into the FBI, Dan, was simply, in fact, a noose. It was knotted, tied up just like a noose. Now the FBI backed that up 100%. The conversations I had with them. And I told them, I questioned my crew chief and my crew member to make sure we were not jumping the gun. And they said, absolutely, they did the right thing. And if you've seen the pictures, you would you would back them up 100%.
But
It was a noose, but not a functioning noose.
Could it have been unintentional?
Well, I mean, they found evidence that it was there from 2019, and we just so happened to have that stall for this year's race. So unintentional, sure. Was it an attack on me? No, I don't believe so. But with everything going on in the world today, you can't just blow that under the rug and act like nothing happened.
How many times had you been in the garage that week? Because I'm guessing that you're opening the garage door, your team is, and closing it. Not you in particular, but nobody.
I haven't. Yeah,
nobody noticed it.
No, I haven't been in the garage since we've been back racing. I have specific team orders to stay in my motorhome just to stay away from COVID-19 and a chance to be there around it. So to isolate myself, I've been in my motorhome taking naps. I was taking naps all day Sunday. So, but my crew, I don't know the time frame. We all got there, I think, at 9 to 10 o'clock in that morning, and they immediately go work on the cars to get it prepped for the races. So those details are more on them.
We're talking to Bubba Wallace. When people say this is a hoax, how do you react?
Well, sorry if I come off as I'm pissed off in our interview, but I am, just because of how it's been portrayed and how it's been on me. And I'm sitting here telling you the facts of how I'm just being told information and kind of following suit. And now all of a sudden I'm playing the victim card. But at the end of the day, it's, I never wanted to be, carrying the weight of all of this, even weeks prior to all this madness. It just so happens that I am the voice, I am the face, I am the one that is, carrying this message. And now to have this happen and end up not being a hateful act towards me, which is great. But it just adds that much more drama, that much more pressure that, again, I didn't ask for, I didn't want to be a part of, but I have to somehow navigate my way through it all and keep my mindset on the task at hand, which is, we got 2 races coming up this weekend at Pocono, and people may sound like that's me avoiding the reality of everything going on, but it's simply not. This is, I'm just simply trying to let people know that through all of this, I still have a job at the end of the day to go out and perform. And I will find peace and serenity throughout the rest of this week with the support of family and close friends to kind of navigate me back on that path right now. But it's not going to stray me from what we're trying to change in this sport, which will ultimately change in this world.
What kind of reaction you're going to get in Pocono?
Who knows? I don't even know if fans are allowed there. I'm guessing they are, since this time we started at Talladega. But I'm quickly, trying to not let other opinions affect me. And yes, I'm frustrated at what I've seen and read and whatnot, but there's a lot of people that are in my corner, and I am paying attention to that more so than the negative stuff. And, I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to let this take me off the path. I'm not going to let it knock me down or break me. We are still fighting for what's right in this sport and still fighting for what's right in this world.
Yeah, as I said at the outset of the show, who am I to say to you, oh, you're overreacting to this? My interpretation could be different than yours, and you see the symbolism of something, or you're told that this is what it is. And that's why I said, as a white male, I can't say to you, oh, you're overreacting, or, come on, it's just a pull rope here. And that's what people have to understand. This isn't our interpretation, it's your interpretation. And I have to be respectful of that, given other things that you've gone through here.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. And, the picture I have of the pull rope, of the exact one that was in my garage and that was cut down and turned to the FBI, then it was, in fact, a noose. Like I said, not a functioning noose, but there's no other way around it. Yes, there are other knots that maybe somewhat are similar to that, but this one, when the FBI is like, hey, this is exactly a noose, it's not a functioning noose, then okay, and I now that I've seen it, I can back that up 100%.
But Bubba, it feels like there's something else involved in this. Do you think this investigation, do you think this story is over and we just move on from it?
Yeah, I believe it's over.
But somebody had to tie that,
Somebody
unintentionally or
had,
intentionally.
yep, unintentionally tie that. Somebody knows how to tie that, and that's on them. That's what they can go and live with. I'm not worried about that person. I got enough on my plate to worry about. But yes, people know how to tie nooses, and it just so happened to be in my garage stall that day, which is unfortunate. But I'm gonna move past this. After about 8 more interviews today, I have talking about it. I'll hopefully move past it till tomorrow, and then talk about it a little bit more. But by Pocono, I'll be ready to roll.
Are you capable of handling this?
We'll find out, but I'm good. This is a more positive interview I've had this morning, which has been good. I've been getting a lot of guidance on how to do these things and whatnot. And
I don't want to give you guidance. I think just hearing from your heart, I saw other interviews where people want to give you guidance. I mean, if you got here by speaking your heart. I wanted to know the details, but that's different than what you're saying to me and what I say to you. I want details. You're going to give me your emotion because it's personal to you. I move on from this. This will stay with you the rest of your life.
Yeah, it'll always be there, and I think the more negative side will always be there just because I've given a little too much time into that. But knowing, hopefully I'll get some good sleep tonight. Last night wasn't very good, obviously, but moving forward, knowing that I can lay my head down at night, knowing that I'm not a fake or a fluke or any of what the allegations say, I will move on from this. And it's as bad as it is. I've gone through a lot of bad things in my life to rebound from, but it'll always stick there for sure. But this will always, in these moments, you always come out the stronger and better person. So I'm excited for that venture.
Yeah, I just see, certainly, and there's not a similar parallel, I don't think, but Colin Kaepernick, he gave up his career of something he believed in, and it stayed with him, forever. Mm-hmm. You're still able to race, and in this sport, it's hard enough to win, Bubba.
Mm-hmm. And tell me about it. I'm winless the last 3 years, my friend.
But now you carry this, like you got to have a separate Winnebago to put all of this in to carry when you go there, your motorhome. I mean, it's a lot. I hope you understand that. It's a lot that you're going to take and you're going to say, nah, I'm good. I filed it away here. It's going to be there in every place you go. Here,
just think about how this is going to be a hell of a story at the end of the day.
Thank you for your time, and
absolutely,
and good luck, and keep fighting the good fight.
Yes, sir. I will. I appreciate the time.
That's Bubba Wallace.